Besides eating cereal with water, what is the most outrageous eating sin you have ever witnessed? My sister used to put ketchup on strawberries. This is why she had to be disappeared, isn't it? A former friend of mine once poured a can of Coors Light into a bowl of Cheerios. He called it Beerius. Well, that's the newest form of alcoholism I've seen. No, not new. A true classic. Can confirm that, or mixing spice rum into the milk, or eggnog instead of milk. I miss drinking. A watermelon and ketchup sandwich. I call it a sandwich because it makes me sad. Is the watermelon the bun? Or does this monstrosity desecrate bread too? Clearly the ketchup is the bun. Stay right where you are. The police are on their way, about to live the rest of his life as a convicted melon. Saw a dude eat spaghetti in milk one time. One very dark time. One time, a long time ago, I ate Lucky Charms with Guinness as a St. Patrick's Day bastardization. I would not recommend. Kid I used to know in school used to rip open his milk carton and dip his burrito into the chocolate milk. Sometimes he'd even go so far as to rip open the burrito and pour his milk onto the beef and eggs too. I'm quoting him here. Creamify the meat. I don't know, man, but the word creamify is just ugh. Creamify is a gross word by itself. Using it to describe meat is something else entirely. How do you think they make milk steak? I work at a pub/restaurant waiting tables. This couple walks in who I've never seen but are apparently regulars. The bartender sees them, shoots me a glance, and goes to grab something from the kitchen. Before even taking their order, he's filled the crushed red pepper shaker and told me to take it over to them. The woman orders a small cup of French onion soup and proceeds to unscrew the cap of this shaker and dump the entirety of it onto her soup, an inch high off the top of her bowl. She's eating this spicy red pepper like cereal and didn't even ask for a drink refill. She must be dead inside and desperately trying to feel something. I was hoping a doctor would show up and say it was likely because she has X disease that destroys her ability to taste anything that isn't crazy spicy. Fried eggs with chocolate melted on the yolk. Fuck this thread. This is the one. This is the one that made me close the thread in disgust. I came back simply to agree and try to not vomit. I had a friend who went through a period where cake decorating was her hobby, and she made some amazing looking cakes that all tasted horrible because of the bizarre flavor combinations. It was always a bit funny because people would compliment the look of them and then have to figure out how to throw their pieces away without being rude about it. The worst one was a Christmas cake with an immaculate looking fondant Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer that was an orange spice cake covered in mint icing. It was like brushing your teeth and rinsing with orange juice in cake form. Dude in my dining hall had a plate of sunny side up eggs, scooped under an egg with his fork, brought it up to his mouth, and only touched his lips to the yolk, proceeded to suck all the yolk, and then slurp the rest of the egg in. It was like a car crash. I couldn't look away but I was horrified. I feel like I was there. I was eerily able to vividly imagine this nonsense. I can even hear it. Horrifying. Peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. Good god. What the hell is wrong with these people? I mean, you could just lie down in a ditch and die instead. This is a gold sponge gar. It only appears once every 1 million sponge gar appearances. Like the video within 5 seconds for good luck. Now back to scheduled programming. My mom puts peanut butter on cold pizza. It is the closest flavor to vomit that is not vomit. You've got to add orange juice for that authentic vomit flavor. I knew a guy who would bite into Hot Pockets in the middle, holding each end. WTF, man. You ever realize when you microwave something the edges are super hot and the middle should be just right? He's letting the atomic parts cool off while he eats the best bits right away. Cut it in half, why don't yap? Bringing utensils into Hot Pocket consumption is a bigger food sin than the one you're trying to correct. Might as well pour some Milwaukee's Best into a champagne flute while you're at it. Ketchup on sushi. Shivers. When I visited my aunt's family as a kid, she served a purple cow milk mixed with grape juice for breakfast. If you haven't tasted that, take my word for it, it's not a great concoction. In elementary school, we used to mix the milk and juice the school gave us for breakfast to puke and get sent home early. Apple juice and milk usually worked the best. I think grape juice and milk was a close second. My dad's girlfriend puts cucumber in any hot dish she can. Green chili, chicken soup, Taco meat sky's the limit. She also doesn't believe in raining noodles and will let them sit in hot water until each strand of bloated spaghetti is as thick as a goddamn shoelace. I don't eat there anymore. My wife dips PBJs into spaghettious. You'll be a father soon. Edit. Or you're getting another one IDK. Oh, spaghettious. I used to be obsessed with A1. I would put it on everything possible because I loved it so much. One day I put it on Jello. I no longer enjoy A1. I watched a guy pour Sprite into a nice $50 bottle of wine because he didn't like the flavor. My Asian relatives eat shrimp with all the legs and stuff still on. Edit. About 8,000 people have commented that you can eat the head and legs on fried shrimp, and that's fine. But my family eats the entire thing. Poop vein, tail, head, shell, legs regardless of cooking method or type of shrimp, and it sounds like hot wet toenails fighting in their mouths and I hate it. Thank you. A couple of years ago when my best friend and I were still in college, she stayed over at mine a few times. It was then that I learned that she liked dipping cheese into hot chocolate, like full on dunking it in, waiting for it to partially melt, swirling it around and then eating it. I love her to bits. She's like my kid sister, but I still haven't entirely recovered. Went to college with this one girl who would get a chef salad, slice up banana and put it on said chef salad, then use ketchup as dressing. I shit you not, this person ate that on a regular basis. Mustard on cheesecake. My baby sister used to eat pancakes and ranch. My mom just accepted it because she was such a picky eater and this was something she just thoroughly enjoyed. We are pretty sure it's cause my mom craved both when she was pregnant with her. A ketchup brownie. My cousin. This son of a bee. I hope he's arrested. My friend was eating salad with his hands at a restaurant. He's not my friend anymore. The guy on 4chan who fermented a bottle of his own semen into liquor. I'm sorry, what? 4chan. There is no understanding it, except the chaos. What's there not to understand? He fermented his own semen into liquor like everyone else. These fuckers here probably get their semen liquor off the shelf. There's no hope for this generation. I worked in a restaurant that served authentic imported Kobe beef. I had someone order a 16-ounce Kobe filet mignon. Well done. The chef nearly cried and definitely threw things. If I recall correctly, he ended up having to put that $200 steak into the microwave to get it to cook all the way through to well without burning the outside to charcoal. The guest was pleased and his date looked horrified. When I was a server, I had a customer dip her bread in a glass of Coke. She finished her whole bread basket and Coke and asked for another basket and another refill of Coke, and went to town again for round 2. She didn't give a crap how she looked and ate that shit like it was the best thing on earth. Mixing ketchup with soda. Granted, we were trying to gross each other out, but still, it was an act of culinary violence unlike anything else I've ever seen. As a kid, we heard about cheeseburger pizza but with ketchup and mustard instead of tomato sauce, American cheese instead of mozzarella, and hamburger meat on top. So, we tried it. You wouldn't think it would be that different. The ingredients are the same as an actual hamburger, except pizza dough is actually very different from the bread of a hamburger bun. It's kind of sweeter and fluffier, and really soaks in the ketchup and mustard to an absolutely disgusting degree. It's awful. This is my own confession. I really love to eat lemons, not in wedges or squeezed on things, but in the way you would eat an orange or a clementine, by peeling it and eating the whole thing. For some reason sourness is just the best to me. I'm a person of many weird food preferences, but this is the one that causes witnesses to cringe the most. How's the enamel on your teeth doing? My friend ran out of milk, so she thought she could possibly use coffee creamer instead. Eating a Kit Kat whole as opposed to individually tearing off the chocolate fingers. I'm not sure if this counts, but there is a guy at my uni who eats all his meals on his laptop keyboard. He sets his food on the keyboard and eats off of it. Makes me so uncomfortable. My roommate's mom eats peanut butter and onion sandwiches. A friend of mine once ate peanut butter with his hands out of the jar in the backseat of my car on a 10-hour drive. I also saw him make a salad by peeling lettuce off a head of lettuce he pulled from his backpack and hand tearing red peppers up while standing next to a knife rack, then eating it without any dressing. He's basically a NYC caveman. My wife likes crunchy peanut butter and bologna sandwiches with cheese. Her mom also adds mayo. I just can't bring myself to try it, literally start retching at the thought of the flavor. Raw Brussels sprouts dipped in peanut butter. My grandparents like peanut butter and pickle sandwiches, so I've been told. Mom's boyfriend crushed Cheez-It crackers into his coffee. That day he ate waffles covered in spinach and fish sticks drizzled with syrup, all the while loudly smacking his lips saying ooh are so good. Mom says don't let it bother me, it bothers me. Friend's mom used to eat soy sauce with ice cream. In college I would sometimes drain the water out of my shrimp cup-o noodles and mix in a big spoonful of peanut butter. I honestly don't know what to tell you other than I did it once out of boredom. It wasn't terrible, and it made my life interesting. My friends called that one poverty pad thai. Well, I just saw that Eames Mayonnaise has come out with a Cadbury Eggs mayonnaise and I'm really concerned for the people who eat that abomination. WH. What? Who here looking for snack tips? I found mine. Peanut butter pickle sandwich and PB&J fried egg sandwich. Eating up tuna sushi. When I was in grade school I went over to this kid's house to play, then ended up staying for dinner. We had spaghetti, some vegetable, maybe salad and something else. His entire family would mix everything together before eating it. His dad seemed to be the ringleader / mastermind behind this scheme. I remember someone cheerfully saying, well, it all goes to the same place, and then the rest of them agreeing with this truism, as if it were some serious folk wisdom. That's some serial killer shit right there. Personally, I like to squirt a little Capri Sun into my ramen. Living on the edge I see. Guy I worked with put peanuts in his Mountain Dew then microwaved it. Gross. It's like he was trying to have Coke and peanuts but went horribly wrong. Eating plain mustard with a spoon. It was me. I committed the eating sin and would do it again. My preteen cousin likes his scrambled eggs crunchy and adds broken up eggs shells to them. I don't like this. What? And I cannot stress this enough. The fuck? You have been visited by Money Pigeon. Like the video and subscribe within 5.6 seconds and you will get rich. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box that blue haze, one lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, food race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.